Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel. I'm going to start off with a question this morning. Has there ever been a time in your life when you felt like you weren't enough? Now, I already kind of know the answer to that question, but this message was, the message itself was inspired by a story I heard a man tell. But the reason that you're hearing the story is because of one of the viewers that asked me about something. So that's what this interaction means to me. The last video I made, I guess I had the angle right or wrong on the camera, and you could see the underside of the bill of my cap. And someone saw that it had writing on it, and they asked me what it was. Now, they were perceptive enough, and I appreciate that. I know the person, and she was kind enough to say, I realize it may be personal and you may not want to tell me. But I told her that we were going to make a video about it next, because I have something written on this hat as well, but this wasn't the hat I was wearing that day. But have you ever wondered if you were enough? Maybe it's inside your marriage, maybe it's with your parents, maybe it's with your boss. I hope you're not wondering that every day. I do. But I'd be hard-pressed to find somebody that's really being honest, that says that they've never, ever asked that question. And let's face it, you don't ask that kind of question when things are good. So, what did my hat say? Well, this is the hat I was wearing that day. I don't know if you're going to be able to read it or not. Sorry, it is a work hat, so it's dirty. You are enough. You are enough. Now, as I said, this one says it too. It's just a darker hat, so you can't see it. You are enough. Now, here's the story. You can search this man. He's kind of a life coach for men. His name is Jimmy Rex. And from what I've heard of him, I mean, go give him a follow or go give him a listen. But he told this story, true story from his life. He was 13 years old, and he had an older brother that was a 2-time state MVP in baseball, champion. His dad wanted another son that was a state champion and an MVP. That would be Jimmy. But he didn't have the build and everything that his brother had, so his dad came to him and said, I want to hold you back. Now think about it. Hold you back in school. 13 years old. You're probably an 8th grader. So now go back in your life. Jimmy had friends. Jimmy loved his school. He had everything that he wanted. But his dad wanted a baseball MVP. So he wanted Jimmy to hold himself back, to stay back a year, so that he would develop physically, so that he would be ready to be more, I guess you could say, be more advanced in that regard to that part of his life. But you see, Jimmy didn't want to do that. He didn't want to lose his friends. He didn't want to stay behind for a game. He thought things were fine the way they were. So this is what his dad told him. Just so you know, you're not good enough. You'll never play baseball again. Just so you know, you're not good enough. That doesn't have to come from your dad. That can come from your boss. That can come from a spouse. It can come from many, many places. Maybe they say it directly like Jimmy's dad did, or maybe they say it indirectly by their actions or by their inactions. You're not good enough. Now, we're not going to go jump in the deep dark well of my life on every episode. But at the same time, I'm not going to be afraid to share. Probably one of the worst things you can hear is you're not good enough. Possibly said by someone else. But definitely if you start saying it yourself and believing it. You're not good enough. What I'd want to do is sit across the table from you and start questioning that. Really? Really? Not good enough, huh? You see, I've not really had one person in my life, and I thank God for that. It says that I'm not good enough, but sometimes you hear a lot of little voices over time, and then that voice inside of you or me starts to get a little louder, maybe get a lot louder. So what Jimmy did is he took that baseball cap and he wrote inside of it, "You are enough." He said he wore that cap for 3 years. Now, if you're a cap wearer, there's probably two kinds of us. Those that continue to have a dozen hats in there and wear them all the time, or guys like me that just grab a couple and just wear them out. He wore that hat for 3 years. But it took him 20 years. It took him 20 years to realize that he was enough. I don't want it to take you 20 years. Maybe for you, you would have said, "Todd, I wish I'd have heard this 20 years ago." Well, I wish I could have offered it to you. I truly do. You see, you'd think a 57-year-old man wouldn't need to put that on his hat anymore. And when I wrote it on there, I kind of hesitated. But then I thought, no, there's days I need that. There's still days I need that. I have a wife that loves me. We have 3 great kids. I've had a great career. I'm looking to move towards something else in my life. I've been working outside and working as hard as I do all the time. So you'd think I wouldn't need to hear that, but I'll tell you, there was a day after 40 years of doing this, just this year, that there was someone who just kind of really started to try to tug at me as soon as I pulled up. I seriously wonder if maybe she was off her medication or something, and I don't mean that as a joke. She said some very, very rude and cruel things to me from the start before I really said anything. It was all I could do to hold it together that day, both ways. The emotional side, the I don't deserve this side, and also the anger side. Guess what I took off and saw? I can tell you exactly where I was standing in her yard whenever I took this hat off and it said, "You are enough." Because that certainly wasn't what she was telling me. So I want to offer that to you today. I want you to at least pause for a little bit, no matter what you have going on. Because in the ministry side of my life, I've been blessed to hear a lot of stories. And by blessed, I just mean that people have trusted me enough to tell me some of the things that they've gone through and are going through. I've been blessed to have people share their stories. So I just want to tell you, no matter what you're going through, that you're enough. God created you. We will have trials. We will have setbacks. But you are enough. You truly are. Now, you'd think a guy like me or any guy wouldn't hesitate to say that. And in most ways, I don't. But there's only one way that I hesitate to say that. And that's because I offered a message like this. Not this, it wasn't this at all, but it was a similar vein, you could say, in church one Sunday. And I actually had a man and a woman approach me and tell me how ungodly that was. I know it's not about me and you and that God's involved. I get that. But for goodness sakes, I don't think for a minute the God that I worship, he didn't want me to feel bad about myself like that, and he doesn't want you to feel that way either. You are enough. So now I just got to go live like it. And I can see that sunrise over there. And I have work to do. And I know you do too. You're enough. So am I. So I'm going to go out today and live with a lot of hope. I hope you join me. So, please comment. Ask me a question. That's why this video showed up. I didn't have this on my radar. But I'm sure glad that I did it. Till next time, guys. This is Todd. See ya.